Welcome to Alma, Missouri. For episode 1, we're trying something a little bit different with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in Alma, Missouri. I've gone native. Hey, I flew in and I thought, you know what? Let's get ourselves a Julie. If we're going to do this, let's do it proper. Look at this absolute beast. It's like a ship. It's a land yacht. Anyway, we are here, Alma, Missouri. We have a farm. This episode, as you can probably tell, isn't live, but I have a plan. If you caught one of my last live streams, we talked about this. It was an idea, a concept that was kind of born. Right, this is not my idea. This is not a new thing. I think Farmer Cop did a series like this. He did a series as well, No Mods, which was an interesting one, I have to say. And a lot of these guys do live streaming a lot more than I do, and that's my plan moving forward, is to do more live streaming. So we're doing Court Farm at the moment, and obviously with all the Frontier debacle, and that's all gone the way of the dinosaur. Look at that, cool. I love it. It's absolutely massive. Winch on the front, all good. So anyway, this episode is just highlighting, showing the idea, talking about the idea. This is quite loud actually. That's how loud this was. We need to go into Alma itself, then out the other side, as far as I'm aware. Now, I am, as I have been doing of late, because it makes life a little bit easier for doing certain things, I am on multiplayer, not on the multiplayer server, on Gportal. Again, that's just for ease of use for me, for quick setting up and quick moving of things around. I personally think the Gportal server works best for multiplayer work and stuff like that. I mean, I could be doing it on this, absolutely I could. It would I say it works best. It will work for anything you want it to work on if you're doing multiplayer. But for me personally, because I play on console, for ease of use of jumping on, changing stuff and doing things quickly, for a let's play, this works better. For multiplayer, absolutely Gportal, jump on. But anyway, so the premise is this. Over the past few years, and I've had lots of conversations and debates, and I've mentioned it a lot in conversation when I've been doing videos, that you can't do right from wrong. That whatever you do, somebody will say, oh, but what about this? What about that? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Have you thought about doing it this way? Why do you always do it that way? And it is difficult. You know, I've said this before, we're 2 years down the line of FS22. And the game used to run in a 2-year cycle, obviously from... from FS19, because the odd numbers, it was always 15, 17, 19, the odd numbers were always new versions of the game. The even numbers then became the mobile versions. But then we had a 3-year cycle, so we went from FS19 to FS22, and it swapped. So it then became a 3-year cycle for the new game to come out. I think we are down here. Now I've seen the area by a video. I was shown a video of the area. Loved it, so I thought, let's come here. We're going to go to the farm and have a look and see what equipment we've got, because I can't remember. We have got some harvesting to be getting on with, some work at the main farm. So in this episode, I'm just going to make a start on that while I'm explaining what's going on. Yes. Anyway, so and there's this thing of, you know, not that it gets stale. I've never found the game stale. I've never found the game boring. But people viewing reach that point, unless lots of really cool, wow, whiz-banging new stuff's coming out, people will drift off. You know, this is what I do. But if you're just playing a game, when you get to a point you think, oh, okay, I'm a bit bored of that now, I'll go and do something else. That's not straightforward for somebody. If this is what you do, this is what you know. My channel is based upon this. I've never really got bored of it. And people always say, yeah, but you know, you do the same thing in each episode, or not in each episode, in every Let's Play. If you mean farming, then yeah, that's the game. I try to use different equipment. I try to tackle things in different ways. It's not always straightforward. It's the map that brings something different. The terrain brings different challenges. I've said this before. So I thought, well, okay. Here's the thing. Here's the way of doing it. If I'm going to live stream more, this is our farm. Oh, it doesn't get any more American than that. Any more Murican than that, does it? Big old house, American flag, Julie out front. Swing set, sandbox, basketball hoop. All you need now is a check shirt, some apple pie, boom, Murica. So, I thought, off the back of talking to Farmer Cop and watching some of his live stream stuff, why don't I do like you remember those You Choose books? I think they're quite popular again now, where you choose how the story goes. If you want it to go a particular way, you turn to this page. If you want to go this way, you turn to this page. That kind of thing. So you've got options. So I thought, if I'm going to live stream, and I'm not going to live stream every episode, some episodes, because it's difficult if people want to follow a Let's Play. It can prevent people from watching a Let's Play. If I'm only live streaming, that's great for the people that catch the live stream, but if I stream for a couple of hours, not everyone's got a couple of hours to sit and watch a Let's Play. I mean, when I do my normal 40-50 minute videos, people are like, oh, they're a bit long. If you do, that's absolutely fantastic, and of course you can watch it in chunks. You can catch up and do bits and bobs. I always find the time goes really quickly, so it's a tricky one. So it's to find the balance. Now I'm calling this, rather than You Choose, because I don't know if that's a brand thing, this is You Decide. This is the You Decide experiment, and it is an experiment, because I might find we get a few episodes in and it's just not working. This is all about being loosey-goosey, a little bit fluid, a little bit flexible. We'll give it a go and see how it works. If it doesn't work, that's fine. We've given it a go. But the premise behind this being, if people think I need to be doing things a different way, if people think that I should be starting a Let's Play a different way, I should be tackling things in a different way, in a different order, then you decide. You will have the decision. Now, this will only be able to work for the people that are watching on the live stream. So if you catch the live streams, when I'm live streaming this, we will have some decisions to make, decision-making processes. I've got to work on the first one we do, because I haven't ever done it yet. Because if you've been following me for a while, you will know, just checking out the equipment we've got. That's not going to be any good for what I need to do to start off with, because I think we've got alfalfa that's ready to harvest. As far as I'm aware, that needs to be mowed, not harvested. So actually, you know what I need to do? I need to get that back onto the header trailer. I noticed that when I watched the video, that header trailer seems to have been shoved up against the side here. So yeah, it'll be polls. It'll be working out, doing polls on the live stream. So it'll be, do we harvest this? Do we harvest that? Do we plant this? Do we plant that? If I'm going to get a new piece of equipment, what piece of equipment should I get? We'd have 2 or 3 options. We can pick what piece of machinery people think I should get. If we're going to do greenhouses, if we're going to buy a production chain, are we going to do it? How are we going to go about it? Do I do, there's some baling contracts. I've been doing a lot of baling lately, tons of baling lately, loads on Court Farms. We were doing loads on Ballyspring. It seems to be at the moment, every contract, every map I come onto, the contracts available are all baling. But this one's got some really nice features on it on Elma. If you didn't catch the map tour on this, we've got some really nice custom crop textures. The cornfields look just fantastic. We've got corn dryers, we've got greenhouses that we can do pumpkins in. The corn drying, and I think the bakery, we can do extra things at the bakery. We've got a popcorn factory. We've got, if we do greenhouses, do tomatoes, there's a tomato sauce factory. If you do tomato sauce, there's the pizzeria, and you can make pizzas. There's a whole load of different stuff on here. We've got some extra crop types on here as well. I think we've got rye. I want to say rye, peas. What was it? Let's go across one. Rye, peas and alfalfa, yeah. So we've got extra crop types. And I'm pretty sure as well on this one, although I haven't installed it yet, but if I install the swathing stuff by Bcbuhler Farms, we can do swathing if we want to, a little bit like we did on Edgewater, Saskatchewan. It's time consuming, but you can get quite a bonus in yield if you do swathing first. So we could look at doing that again. But you decide. You will have the deciding vote, What I do next will come down to what you think. I'm pretty sure Daggerwind's done series like this as well, where he's done polls and you decide what happens. But I thought, you know what? And then at least as we move forward, if people say, "Oh yeah, but you did this," I'll say, "No, I didn't. You did." So it's kind of like the contractor concept on Court Farm, except I'm contracting for you, not Caleb Cooper, which is cool enough anyway. But contracting for you. You will decide what I do, how I do it, when I do it, what way around the field I go, when I can have my lunch break, you know, that kind of stuff. I just think it's an interesting thing to have a go at. We'll give it a try. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, it's an experiment. If it doesn't work, fair enough. Now, as well as me on here, my bank account, we have got the Bank of Missouri. They are based out of, they've got a branch in Columbia, which is out to the east in that, well, it's out of that direction actually, sort of southeast-ish from where we are now, along the I-70, I think I didn't realise as well, sorry, I know this is a lot of talking and chatting, but I'm just explaining what's going on, checking things out. I'm going to demolish this. I'm not intending to do horses immediately, but again, if on a live stream people say you should do horses, we vote on it and the vote goes yes, let's do horses, we'll put in a smaller horse barn, horse stable. Now at the moment I've only got base game mods, apart from obviously I've got the TLX Julie, and I've got year 1 and year 2 season pass DLCs installed. I'm not adverse to putting mods in, so we can add mods in. Again, that can be a decision. If people in the chat say, "Oh, you should think about using this or using that," we can have a chat and we can say, "All right, you know, if people think that's something we should do, let's vote on it." If it's a particular mod that people say, "Yes, you should use this," I don't want to go down the route of people saying you're using the same mods all the time. You keep using the same things, and I do. I will default back to things that I know where they are, things I've used, things that I know that work, but also there's a lot of mods, like over 4,000 mods out there now. Kerminator put a brilliant little meme up the other day about mods being released by Giants. It was very clever. It was the Tuttles, Paul Senior and Junior, having an argument, and obviously the meme over that was to do with mods. It was very amusing. I can't remember exactly the wording of it, so I won't say now. But anyway, yeah. So there are mods when people say, "Well, how do you thought about using so-and-so?" So I might get a message and I'll think, you know what, I'd forgotten all about that mod. Because I do my mod reviews and we do let's plays and you play the game and you use mods and you use ones you like and you go down that route of these are the ones I fall back on. And there are so many. So yeah, if you, the viewer out there, says, "What about so-and-so?" and we're live streaming, we can have a chat. We can say, "You know what, I had forgotten about that. What do you guys think? What do you want to do? You decide." So that's what we're going to do. That's the plan moving forward. As far as, again, it's all decisions that have got to be made. This decision I've got to make of when to stream. That's a difficult one too. I've had conversations with Barris and a few other people about when I should stream and how, and well, I know how to stream, but when. And I have that thing of, if I've been sitting at my desk, I come out here 7:30 in the morning and I start and I do prep work and I do let's play video, providing I haven't got any other stuff that needs to be done, housework, DIY, you know, whatever it is needs to be done around the house, taking MrSealyp to appointments or myself or whatever, you know, life stuff. And then mods come out and do mod reviews, you know, whatever it is I'm doing at the time. If people are then saying I should be streaming at 8, 9 o'clock at night, well, if I've been at my desk since 7:30 in the morning, and then I start streaming at 9, even if I go through to 11 o'clock at night, I need to find time during the day to have my dinner, to eat something, hopefully to spend some time with my wife and my family when my kids come in from work and that kind of thing. If I stream middle of the day, lunchtime, I catch British audiences are at work, it's lunchtime, unless you're at home. American audiences, generally speaking, are getting up, so I might catch them before they go to work. If I stream mid to late afternoon, again, American audiences, it's around their lunchtime. British audiences, they might be coming home from work. And then obviously you've got them time zones all around the world. So you've got people in Scandinavian countries, you've got people across, you know, across Europe, out towards Eastern Europe, and Yeah, catching everybody's going to be a tricky one. I'm not sure how we're going to go about that. And it'll be a case of maybe I'll try some different times, or I'll bounce it around. I might do one day I'll stream and I'll do it around lunchtime, another day I'll stream and I'll do it 8 o'clock at night, or maybe 6 or 7 o'clock at night, or maybe I'll have my dinner then come out and stream. That might be a better way of doing it. If I go and have something to eat, then come back out and maybe stream, yeah, maybe 8 o'clock at night, maybe 8 through till 10 PM or something. And maybe alternate between those so I can catch people at different times. I don't know, like I say, it's all an experiment, it's all an idea. We'll have a think about this. Now, as I said, the Bank of Missouri, the farm we passed on the way in, the bank foreclosed on the farm. So as it stands at the moment, the bank own that farm. I have been asked if I can help with keeping the farm going. They have got livestock. They have got some cows down the road. So again, when we do our live streaming, we've got some options here of, do we try and support the farm, or do we bring the livestock to here, I mean, to keep them alive kind of thing, because there's no one at the farm. It's empty at the moment, and it's all well and good the bank have foreclosed. I mean, they might just sell all the cattle off, I don't know. I suppose we could buy the cattle. But anyway, that's that's something to think about. So what I need to do now is grab one of the tractors, grab some mowers, and get some alfalfa done. The question is, do I do? It's not something I've done before. Alfalfa bales. The other thing I want to check as well, I'm pretty sure on here, if we go to our silos, don't we have alfalfa silos? I'm pretty sure that's what these are for. So you can turn... I'm sure that's what it said. These were put in. So you can turn alfalfa into silage. I think what we'll do, we'll cut it first. We have got mowers, haven't we? Oh yeah, there we go. Got our mowers. Brilliant stuff. I think what we'll do first, I'm going to demolish that building. We'll get that taken down. Actually, you know what I'll do? We'll have a company come in and demolish that while we're doing the alfalfa. There we go. That's a better way of doing it. Let's grab the old... Hello, dearie. Can I get through the gap and get that one out, or should I get the rear mower out first? So anyway, I don't know. I don't know how well it's going to go down, as it seems to be at the moment. It's that phrase people use a lot now, isn't it? Whatever it is, fatigue. I think people have got farming simulator fatigue. We're not far off, you know, the next big expansion coming out. The premium edition. November the 14th. It's not long. It's going to be upon us. New map, new crop types, loads of new stuff, loads of new equipment. Carrots, parsnips, red beet. There's a whole load. With some new productions and some new stuff. Now, again, how people feel about that? How people feel about the new stuff coming out? You know, it's a difficult one to tell. Some people think it's awesome. Some people are not so impressed. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be absolutely brilliant. And then we'll go into year 3. For the year 3, season pass will then come out. I hope it's not too expensive. Because on console I don't get a free one. They do send stuff out to YouTubers for early access, but because I play on console, that doesn't help me in any way. Now I'm assuming I have got this wrong, haven't I? Because I'm going to cut the grass here, aren't I? So will this go between the two? It is cutting it. I think on all the maps I've been on, it's not the same, is it? Or is it? Is it just cutting it as grass? Yes, that's cut the grass next to it. is it a different sort of grass? I mean, that's the interesting thing, because we have overlapped with the regular grass here. How do you prevent... I don't suppose you can prevent that from happening, can you? So do I silage clamp it? Do I bale it? I might do a bit of both actually in this episode. Why not? While I'm doing some stuff, like I say, I mean, for guys out there that have done loads of this already, I mean, like I say, it's not something I've done a lot of. I'm trying to think if I did on Stone Valley. Did I? Can't remember. But we've got all of this grass. We can cut all of it if we want to, but then we don't have a silage clamp here, so we've only got 50 grand at the moment. Do I spend? And then there's a risk if I buy that silage clamp and that only does alfalfa grass, will it allow me to put this grass into it? It's all an experiment, it's all a test. I might put it on the ground here when this gets demolished. Maybe stick it on a bit that's got sort of concrete on it already, rather than covering up grass that I could cut. We can do cows, we can do sheep. I'm going to carry on mowing this. I'm curious, yeah, like I say, I mean, I don't know. We've got a windrower. I don't know if we've got a forage wagon actually. It's a big old field, isn't it? If I try and cut as close to the edge of the field as possible, and then what we'll do, I'm pretty sure this one on soybean, is it soybean? You get soybean swaths as well, or is that just from the swathing, or is that generally? Again, it's all testing, and that's what I like. It's like, you know, if you've gone down the route of doing certain things for a while, and there's a particular map or a particular crop type or a particular thing you've never done before, and you might not have, you know, because if you're playing at home, you might bounce between map to map to map to map. You might play a few hours on one map and then think, okay, I'm going to bounce to another map now. I'm going to give this one a go, or you might put a few hours in over a weekend on, you know, I want to give this a go and this a go. If I'm doing a let's play, if I'm doing a storyline on a map, it's a lot. You can't kind of, you know, do 2 episodes in this one, then go to another map, do 2 episodes in that one, do another map. You know, that's a lot harder to do. I suppose I will laugh again and say that in my spare time. I suppose in my spare time I could have been doing all these things, but when you're prepping and getting stuff done for, I'm not making. I'm not complaining, just explaining. You know how this goes. So I don't know how this is going to go down. I don't know how well received it's going to be. I know the last 2 live streams I did last week I really enjoyed. I love that interaction, that immediacy of the interaction. That's why I think this will work quite nicely. The immediacy of the interaction with viewers, with subscribers, with people, names that you recognise and know from comments and, you know, messages, people that have reached out, people that have, you know, just been great. Massive shout out to Rick. Rick sent me a monitor stand, triple monitor stand, which I haven't had a chance to set up yet. But I will do at some point. I'm going to need some help doing that, because obviously I've only just set everything up in the man cave. I've got all my cabling and I've got 3 monitors that need to be lifted up and put onto it. But yeah, he had a spare monitor stand. I was talking about the man cave and saying I was going to get one. He messaged me and said, do you want it? I'll send you one as a thank you for everything you do. Thank you, Rick. It's awesome. I had to find a big old Allen key because it requires Allen keys. But yeah, I need to bolt all that together and see if I can hook the monitors up. I'm trying to work out what configuration to put them in. It should work. I don't see why it won't work, but it should. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do all the alfalfa grass, or the alfalfa, just alfalfa grass, alfalfa, and then I'll windrow it and we'll sort out what we're going to do for collecting it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a strip of normal grass. I think I'm going to put in one of those clamps, and we'll see. I guess it comes with age. I was just thinking, as I'm driving down it, I'm thinking, I've done a disservice. You know, it's that as you get older, I guess time becomes more important, and you know, using your time wisely and that kind of thing. And have I not done enough testing in previous years? You know, I would have. I don't know. I guess so. And I don't know if it's as you get older because you become more set in your ways. You kind of, you do fall down that route of, I know this works. So not I'm afraid of change, not that I'm afraid of trying things. Like I said, that's the whole point of this, is to test it out and test new things. I'm all for testing stuff. I do get the impression that people, they want. How do I explain this without? I don't. It's not. It shouldn't sound rude, but people think or expect, and I've always tried to avoid this. And we can talk about mental health again, but I know people go, "Oh no, not again." Because you're YouTubing, because you're putting out videos, the attitude seems to be you're supposed to be an expert. You're making videos. You're the expert. I've never proclaimed myself to be an expert. I'm just a guy playing the game. I enjoy playing the game, and if I can pass on anything I've learned, anything I'm doing while I'm doing it, that's great. I'm not a professional at this game. I'm just playing the game like anyone else, and I make YouTube videos. That's kind of it. That's it. And so I think that assumption, that thing of, if you're putting out videos, you should know what you're doing at all times. You're supposed to be showing us. If you're not showing us, then you don't know what you're doing and you're an idiot, kind of thing. Everyone's new at something at some point. There's going to be things you've never tried, some things you want to give a go, and you know. And like I said before, I show what I do, warts and all. If I make a mistake, if I get something wrong, generally speaking, I show it. I'm not one of those people that will edit everything very cleverly to make it look like they're absolutely fantastic at everything all the time, because that's just not true. That's a lie. It's a facade. It's hiding things. You know, you shouldn't do that. But people do, and if they do, you know, if that's what you do, then that's fine. Great, go for it. That's just not what I'm like. That's not who I am. So if I'm doing something for the first time, I'll be honest about the fact I'm doing it for the first time. I mean, I could have said, you know what I'm going to do? I won't post a video today. I'm going to spend today off camera. I won't save the game. I'll do all of this. I'll cut all the grass. I'll put down a silage clamp. I'll try and bale it. I'll try and put it into a silage clamp. I'll do it all off camera. See what works. See what doesn't. And then tomorrow I'll make a video, and I'll already know what works and what doesn't, and I can just pretend that I knew. That's disingenuous. I don't. Like I say, that's not me. I've never been like that. So anyway, I'm going to carry on mowing. By the time we finish mowing, hopefully I mean, it's a lovely horse barn building stable, but it's just a bit big, I think. And I don't do horses that often, and when I do, I only do a few. So I'm thinking, yeah, you know, I know it's got the training facility in it as well, but in all honesty, the world's your training facility. Let's get out there. As my dad always say, get amongst it. The alfalfa's cut. It's 10:41. I might have got a bit carried away. I do that sometimes, don't I? We're heading in town because we don't have a forage wagon. We haven't got we've got no way of picking the grass up. We can bale it, but if I'm going to put something to a silage clamp and test that, so I'm going to do both. I'm going to do I'm not going to do everything in this episode, but what I'm going to do, I'm all the grass areas that could be mowed. The stable's down. Actually, that's worked out. Well, it might work out okay. Where the roadway goes in, you've got a gap, like a C shape of roadway. If I could put the silage clamp between the open ends of the C, you'll see when we go up there. It'll fit in there quite nicely. So I've cut all the grass I can cut, as well as the alfalfa. I've windrowed around the edge of the alfalfa field, and I've windrowed around the edges of the other bits of field. But I don't have a forage wagon, so I've got no way of picking up the grass or the alfalfa that's on the ground. So what I'm going to do is whiz to the store, grab one. There's one, I can't remember where it's from. Is it from the Hay and Forage Pack? It might be. We'll have a look when we go into the store. Like I said, it's all fairly base game and DLC stuff at the moment. There's all the cows at the farm here. So I'm thinking maybe we could buy them. The money's gone up to 101 because when I sold all the requisite parts, they took the stable down. I think they're just going to move it and they're going to rebuild it somewhere else. We got 50 grand for it. So yeah, it's all good. It's just over 50. It must be just over 50. So that's all good. So yeah, we're going to, and I think that will cover the cost of putting in the silage clamp, which is pretty cool. Where am I going to? The store. Into Elma itself. I said when I did the tour of this, it's just got such a homely feel to it. It's lovely. It's really nice. I love this. I want to live somewhere like this. If you're in the US and you live somewhere like this, man, you are lucky. Now, where is the trigger? Is it over here? That's the repair. We want the storefront, which is here, isn't it? Or here? It's here somewhere. Just Clever Motors, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Right, so yeah, under forage wagons. So if you go up, I want to get a bigger one, at least a bigger one. And when you look at this, like 40, what's that one? 44,000 litres for 116 grand. 46,600 for 123 grand, and they kind of go up. But on the end here, yeah, the hay and forage pack. The Pertinger Jumbo 8450 DB, that's a 47,300 litre for 86 grand. I'm not going to buy it, but leasing it, that, I mean, that's not far off a 50,000 litre compared to that one, which is less, 46.6, and that's 123 grand. So what we're going to do, I'm not going to change anything on that. Do I want, oh, you know what we'll do? Silage Additive Tank, lease that for 5278. And one of the other mods I've got installed, so I've got the TLX, I've got the government subsidy signs. I always have those installed because you never know. But if we go down to, and you've seen me use these before, if we go to pallets, out to the end, that Silage Additive Drum, 500 for 50 litres, no brainer. Let's buy one of those. Then we'll go round the back of the store, pick it up, fill it up with Silage Additive, and let's pick some up. We'll put the clamp in. I'll pick up some of the alfalfa grass and see if it'll go into the clamp. If it doesn't, that's not a problem. We'll bale the alfalfa, but I'm pretty sure that's what those silage clamps were for. Oh, it's right next to it. There we go. So we should be able to. If I click L3, there we go. Silage Additive is filling up. Oh, okay, that's not taking very much at all. I thought that was going to take the whole 50 litres. This might not have enough oomph, this tractor. This is a Maxim, isn't it? We got, yeah, it might not have enough. So I might have to switch over to one of the John Deeres. The John Deere I was using, I mean, to be fair, that's just windrowing. So what we can do is switch this over, put that on the windrower, which will require less horsepower, and put the John Deere on this. And we'll give it a go. Why not? Oh, should have stopped. I'll see you at the farm in a minute. And let's do a bit more testing. We're coming into the yard, and you can see what I mean. I cut that, I cut a little bit over there. The stable has gone. I've gone round and just windrowed round the edge of each of them just to get the grass off any of the roadways. And this is what I was talking about, the C shape, although it's upside down or back to front, if you look at it. If you look at the roadway from above there, that's where the barn was. So I'm thinking, if we put in the clamp between this bit here and that bit there, if it's too short, we can always just extend it, and that's in there already. I windrowed these the sides out the way, so when we put this in, we didn't lose any grass that we might have already cut. So I've got normal grass, then we've got the alfalfa, which is a little bit hard to see against the background, a little bit better at that angle. So yeah, I want to pick it up. I want to pick both up and see what the difference is. Yeah, it's a test for me. It's a test for it. So what we'll do, let's get this put in. There we go. That was a bit more than I wanted to spend. Why did I think? Oh no, I looked at the smaller one, didn't I? Which was 25 grand. Okay, well we got 35 grand left. We need to make a bit of money, and that actually will do a little bit of yeah, I'll do a little bit around the edge, but that actually fitted in there really nicely. That's gone in perfect. Yeah, we'll do a tiny little bit of landscaping, but we're in. So first things first, I say I know. Let's hang on. Let's open this up. What does that say? It says fill level chaff. Am I misremembering on this then? I'm just starting to wonder if I'm going mad. I could have sworn it said in the details for it. I'm just looking on the actual mod hub on the website. Because I might be going mad. Alma, Missouri. I'm sure it said it had... yeah, it says in here, 3 new crops, rye, peas and alfalfa. Alfalfa has been implemented in animal feed, added 3 placeable silo bunkers that will accept alfalfa and dry alfalfa. We go into here and go to our silos. They're the only 3 that are in here. Well, I guess we're going to find out now, aren't we? So we'll find out firstly, will it take normal grass? It's just saying chaff, so... will this run it? It might do. It's on that, it'll have the oomph on the hills, but let's get some put in. Doesn't have to be a lot, just to test it. And then, like I said, we'll test the same with bales. And this episode was literally just a kind of introduction, as starting off, as setting up. This is kind of how we're looking. And the premise moving forward. We have got a wheat field to do. I wanted corn. I wanted a big old cornfield, but that one behind us is our corn. I don't think that's ready yet, is it? If we go to our map and check the fields we own, yeah. So that big cornfield there, that's ready to harvest. That one's not yet. What's that one? What about that one over there? No, corn's not ready yet. I haven't got precision farming on, and I haven't got seasons on, so it still take months to grow, but it just won't be within seasons. Just gives us a bit more scope. And again, when we come to actually doing this live, that might be something people decide, well, actually we'd rather see, I don't know, X, Y and Z. Right, let's go down to here. Yeah, see, that's showing that as alfalfa. That's definitely picking up alfalfa rather than... Oh, now that's bouncing between the 2. Why is that bouncing between the 2? Is that because I cut a little bit of grass around the edge? See, that's a problem, isn't it? That's a bit of an issue. And I'm losing it all. Because it's picking up one bit of alfalfa, then one bit of grass. How would you prevent that from happening? So that's alfalfa, alfalfa, alfalfa. Then it finds a bit of grass and it puts it back to 0 again. So I'm losing all of that alfalfa. If I go straight across the field now, it will just be alfalfa. But all of that windrow I did around the edge now is going to be pointless. Absolutely pointless. That's not... I mean... I suppose, I mean, that's the problem, isn't it? When you're growing alfalfa, which is a grass, and the mowers cut the grass, the mower can't distinguish between what's this grass at the side. But there definitely should be a border. There should be something to stop that happening. I mean, I've literally just clipped the edge there, which means that I'm going to go all the way around the outside this field, and everything from here to here has been wasted. That's so annoying. I can't really... Oh yeah, look, that's a little bit... Can you see there? That's a bit darker, that's a bit lighter. So it's bounced it between the 2. Oh man. That is so frustrating. So I guess now this is showing specifically alfalfa. Will it let me put this into the silage clamp? Which it says... Turn it off, lift up. Yeah, it definitely says. That's what I mean. This is just, it's all testing, isn't it? It's all trying things out. Added 3 placeable silo bunkers that will accept alfalfa and dry alfalfa. I do need to switch this over. I'm going to put this on the windrower and I'll put the John Deere on this. And I wouldn't mind so much if you went round the edge and it said, okay, you know, we're going to put this all in as grass then. But the fact it's doing a little bit then, and it's taking it all back out again. So I'm losing everything. Oh man. Well, I suppose I've done all this grass. Will it let me put this in, or was it going to say it's not accepted? It is. Okay. So that's going in as chaff as well. So I can put it all into the silage clamp, that's good, and so I can silage it. So what I think I'm going to do just because I was curious. I think the baler we've got is wrapper, so that should make silage bales as well, shouldn't it? I was wondering whether or not we should just wrap. I wonder if I went around the outside with the baler. Once it's in the baler, it can't then take it out again, surely. I don't know, I'll try. Do I wrap the alfalfa bales and put all of the grass I've cut into the clamp, or just put it all into the clamp? I might be better off just putting it all in the clamp, mightn't I? But I want to have a go at doing an alfalfa bale. I know it sounds like a petulant child. I want to have a go, I want to try this. We have got another John Deere. Where's the other John Deere? Down the side of there. I'm going to have a go with that baler. This is going to be my final test. I've got all this to do. This has all got to be collected and put into the clamp. I just want to see now what happens with that alfalfa. No reason why it shouldn't work here. This baler... Fold it. What size bales? 125, 150. We'll go 150s. That way we'll have less bales sitting around. I can do a few. I'm just curious. Different crop and whatnot. Just posting a video at the moment. Today saw another blog post release. Premium carrots. So if you're interested in that. Yeah. It's taking it, so it will take the alfalfa. Is it leaving the grass behind, or is it just taking? Oh, it's taking it all. Ah, right. So I'm not going to lose it. That's brilliant. So we'll go around the outside. Now it switched it to grass, but it's still taking it, so it can't spit it back out again. So whether it ends up being a grass bale or an alfalfa bale, it doesn't matter. I'm just not losing it all now, so that's good. Now it's switched back to alfalfa again. Cool. Well, that's one way of avoiding losing all that around the outside. Should I have automatic drop on? Turn on automatic drop. Yes. Come on. My first alfalfa bale! Like I said, I can't remember if I did one Stone Valley or not. And it is going to wrap them. Okay. So that strip around the outside will do. And then everything else I'll put in the silage clamp. We'll do it with silage that way. So I'll have a few silage bales, which should, well, they'll probably end up being a mixture. Crop type alfalfa. Fermenting. Cool. It's all a bit different, isn't it? So anyway, that's it. That's this episode. That's the start. That's the premise. Next episode should be a live one. Let's say when that's going to be, I'm not sure. What time it's going to be, I'm not too sure. I will try my best to put a message up on Twitter and or, well, probably both, Facebook, when I'm going to go live. I may even schedule them possibly an hour or so before I'm due to start, to give people plenty of advance warning so they know they're coming. And yeah, and then we'll go from there. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'll switch back to just doing videos as I normally do. But I just like the idea of you deciding. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you get on board with the idea. If you have, and if you do, thank you. Please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.